Good morning. Happy December the 16th, I believe. I'm finally out for a hike. I tried yesterday, but I got such a late start. I'm like, let's just do it today. But today, I was having a hard time getting motivated too, but I'm like, I don't care. I need to get out here and do a longer hike than I have been doing the last couple of weeks. So here I am. I am in the cove. And today, I am going to hike along it's called the Bear Creek to Hidden Oasis. I do not expect to make it because it's a hard hike. I've done part of it before. I think it's very steep in places, but I need to work on that, right? So I'm going to do that today. Go as far as I can, then turn around and come back. Let me pan around. This is beautiful. And it's about 8:30 in the morning. And like I said, late start. And it's chilly. I'm wearing a double layer, which I'll peel off one of them soon. I'm sure as soon as I get in the sun, I'll be fine. But yeah. So I've recorded part of this before, so I won't start recording again until I'm going up out of the wash. There's more interesting things to look at then. But I'd like to wish Heidi in the class of 2019 a happy birthday today. Yay. Happy, I won't say the year because I'm not sure you want me to, so let's just say she's around my age. I think I'm older, but not by much. Hey, we're in, for those of us going in March, and I'm still in March, I haven't been able to change my start date. We're like 90-something odd days from starting our PCT journey. It's crazy. It's like 3 months away. It's like, I haven't bought any food yet. Well, I take that back. I bought some, but not a lot. Oh, man. All right, well, let's get to this. It's, I don't know if it's warming up or if I'm just, heating up. But on a side note, I very rarely ever hike with headphones or music, but I know this is a long trail, and because I've been on the first half a lot, I might get bored. And it's cold enough where I don't think the snakes are out, so I don't have to really listen for them. So I don't know if you notice I've got some headphones here and a really old iPod. Still works. Doesn't hold its charge for very long, but I'm not looking for it to hold for hours. Just a little bit here and there when I get bored. I need something to break the monotony up. We're heading into the sandy section of this hike. Thankfully, the whole thing is not sand. Alright, we're about to leave the sandy portion of the trail and start going up the pretty portion, but now it gets steep and sketchy at points, so oh joy. I did pretty well. I'm averaging that first mile. It's a little bit over a mile now. That first mile was like a 3-mile-an-hour pace. It's easy to maintain if you're on flat land or barely any kind of incline, but when you start going up, not so much. Seriously. When I start going up, my miles per hour goes completely down, like 1 mile an hour. It's ridiculous. So I'm hoping that improves before I start the trail, but I know it will while I'm on the trail. I just like to be a little bit more prepared before March. I'm up above that little crevice we saw a second ago. I wonder how far back that goes. Maybe someday I'll just scramble around and explore. But today, it's a trail. Mama, ga ga ga. Music really takes you out of your head up here. It's easier. Going up into that somewhere. Legs are good, so definitely gonna make it further than usual today, this time around. Music does help. You know, today's hike is powered by Lady Gaga, Oingo Boingo. Oh god, Ash wasn't last, and Sublime is playing right now. And who knows what's gonna be next? It could be a classical song. Could be Mozart, for all I know. Shuffle? Shuffle on an iPod that has over 1,500 songs, so you get the idea. That's where it came from. I'm going to cut along here. You can kind of see the trail. And right around that ridge. That is the point. I've made it never further. Ever. Look at this ravine, man. It's deep. I just learned the importance of keeping one earbud out at all times. No, there was a runner coming down, and he was coming around one of the corners down there that you can't see, and I didn't hear him coming, and all of a sudden he appeared before me. I'm like, oh! I was able to get out of his way. Yeah, and there's bikes on these trails too, so probably would have got myself hit. So yeah, from now on, one earbud out. I should have known better, right? That was a steep step. I've made it this far. So now it's time for a wee break. No idea how far it goes back there. I have no idea how many miles I've gone. Oh no, I'm dropping my snacks. Little healthy snacks with electrolytes in it. It just keeps going up. And up and up. This is the view to my right. I'm on a little saddle here. And this is the view to my left. Sheer canyon walls. So sheer on this side. This is one reason why you should always Stop and look backwards sometimes from where you've been. I don't know if you can see out there. I know I point this out on almost every video that I go hi. You see that body of water right there? That is the Salton Sea. I think it's flipping huge, man. See parts of Indio. Airplane. I was hoping once I came around this ridge that I'd see an oasis, but I don't think I'm close. See the trail goes up, but then it might even go up more. I see maybe a trail right there, but I could be wrong. I'm almost done. I'm gonna keep going until I can't go any further, then take a break and come back. I think I might be calling it here. I actually have a signal, so I'm gonna bring up like all trails or something and see if I can get an idea how close I am to the top. Let's do 360. Ooh, that's a great shot of the Salton Sea. The reason I say that is it goes woo, up this one, up and over this hill too. And I am really spent. But literally, if it's on the other side of the hill, I'm going to keep going. I just got to see if I can bring up a map from here. Okay, well, I broke down and downloaded all trails, which I will uninstall when I get home. I'm just trying to save room on my camera. And I'm about, you believe for all that, I'm only like 3 miles in to the hike. Maybe a hair shy of that. I'm like, dude, I looked on the map and there's still like 1.1, 1.2 miles to go. And it looks like I've climbed, I forgot to look at that. I believe I've climbed over 1,200, 1,300 feet. Just like I did higher on the boot off. Anyways, you go even higher, going up there. So it goes over that and it just goes further and it climbs at least another 1,000 feet. I'm like, I've made it further than I thought I would. I'm done. Because I still have to get all the way back down. So, and it's deep and sketchy in places. I did see the percent incline on the app. It shows that it goes from anywhere from nothing to 46% was the steepest point. And I feel it when it hits that. I feel it when it hits anything over than 20% grade. It kills. And the nice thing about the PCT, partially because it's an equestrian trail as well, it doesn't go over 10%, so I'm going to like that. Although I do know some steep parts of the PCT I've been on that have not been fun, but those are probably the 10% areas. But anyways, I'm going to start going back down and probably film a little bit more on the way down. You can't beat these views. I mean, wow. That's the best view of the Salton Sea I've had in any of my hikes. Crazy. Whew. Stopped at the break spot. I stopped at on the way up. Had me a cookie. I just love this because no matter which way I face, it's a great view. So speaking of cookies, I ate one of those, I forgot the guy's name, Larry and something complete cookies. They're massive. They're super filling. But I'm curious, especially from those of you who have thru hiked before, or at least been on long distance section hikes that have used them, would you consider them like a meal replacement? Or would you consider them a snack? They're pretty high in calories, but I don't know, it's hard for me to wrap my head around a cookie as a meal, but yeah, just curious what your opinions are. Almost back down to the floor of the desert. I can't show you where I've been because it's up and way to the right. So it's hard to tell exactly where it is. That notch looks familiar. So basically these hills at the top, I was behind the closest ones, the top ones, but just behind it. But there's higher ones past them that you can't see from here. And then we're kind of going, the trail goes that way and up. So I don't know where it's going to end. Like I said, I was about 1.2, 1.3 miles away from finishing. But I was done. I didn't want to spend the entire day out there. I still have things to do at home. That is the one thing that about hiking the Pacific Crest Trail. I don't have anywhere to be except on the trail and to make progress. So if I'm tired and it's not an out and back, I'm not going to turn around and come home. I'm just going to keep going until it's time for camp. So I may slow down when I get tired, but I'll still make good progress. Today, the hiking trails have been really empty. I mean, really empty. That trail is not very trafficked, but when I'm coming back, sorry if that was a quick pan. Coming back, usually there's a ton of people on the trail, but nobody. I saw 3 people the entire time. Maybe 2 more at a very, very long distance and a biker at a very long distance. They're not Christmas shopping. Tammy texted me and she was with her son shopping, and I guess it was really super empty over in the Palm Desert area too. So maybe people were shell-shocked after last week saw Iron Man and all left the valley to go shopping, which would be sad because there goes the money from the valley 2 weekends in a row. But yeah, this has been a ghost town out here today. It's been rather nice, but I'm very surprised. It's a perfect hiking day. So I think all trails is deceptive, because if you look at this is the little mileage counter that they have at the beginning of the cove. From here, which is the beginning of the wash area, or the end of the wash area. Oh, my bad, no. That's the beginning of the wash area. Basically on the other side of that little mountain. From here all the way up, it's 4 miles with a little bit over 1,800 gain. Okay, so from what I could tell, I pooped out about here-ish in this section. And I had a little over a mile to go, and that makes sense. It was more climbing, looks like. Looks like it dips down, if I'm reading this right. But, so that's 4 miles. This is the little easy part. I cut around here sometimes. So that's another, not quite a mile. So this is more than an 8-mile hike. So I may have been close to 4 miles total. I'm going to say 3.4, 3.5 guesstimation. Interesting. I guess it felt like it. But I definitely felt the elevation gain. That was not fun. Is it ever? Alright, let's get to the car and go home. That was a good workout. Man. Anyways, I hope you had fun. I did not expect to make it. I made it further than I thought it would, so that's cool. I hadn't seen a lot of that area before. And as far as hiking with music, it does take you out of your head, and it takes your mind off of the fact that you're out of breath, that you're in pain, or anything like that. So I see the benefits of doing so, but man, I don't know if I'd want that extra weight of the iPod and the cords. And even if that's not that very much weight, but then you have to charge it. And it's an old iPod, so it loses charge super quickly. So I probably will not do it and regret that at some point. But I do have my phone. I don't really have music on my phone, but I'm sure I could download something if I'm desperate enough. That or a podcast. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed yourself. I did. I'm going to go home and get some lunch. And if you like what you watched, please click like. If you haven't subscribed already, please click subscribe. If you want notifications of when I have a new video out, just click the bell too, because it will send you notifications. And I will see you next time. All right, have a great week.